Hello and welcome back to another net worth update here on MTT Finance. And today's video is going to be kind of special because it's the last net worth update for the year of 2021. We're in December, and so next time you see a net worth update, we're going to be talking about 2022. If you've been following me on this channel, you know that back in April, I started with my very first net worth update video. Something I had never before done. In fact, I had to even look up how to calculate all the numbers to know what my assets are and what my expenses are. The net worth update videos, along with my student debt update videos, have been some of the most popular videos on this channel. So I appreciate you guys returning once again to watch my final 2021 net worth update for the month of December. One thing I want to mention to you guys before we actually start punching in the numbers into the spreadsheet for this video is that you're going to notice that after today, we're going to see a massive change, a massive shift from where we were the last time I posted one of these videos. It's been about 2 months since I've actually posted a net worth update video, so the numbers might seem quite drastic. Thank you so much for those who have subscribed and who have been with me throughout this journey over this past year. But now let's go ahead and let's actually start punching in the numbers for my net worth update spreadsheet. So here we can see my beautiful spreadsheet. We haven't seen this in quite some time, and I have all the numbers, all the updated numbers here in front of me, and I'm just gonna go ahead and start putting them into these charts. If you're new here, let me briefly explain how this is all gonna work. If you've been here before, you know the routine. Just double tap on the video so you can skip ahead. This section up here, this green box, these are my assets. These are things that either make me money or things that I own that generate income of some kind, or they hold value. Down here in this red box, these are things that take away money from me. This is kind of bad. Things that take away money by debt or interest or just something that's losing value. And so this column right here, this red column, is stuff we would like to eventually see just be gone. That'd be totally awesome to be completely debt-free. We're not there yet. At the end of this video, you'll actually be able to see how much debt I'm currently in with all my liabilities added up, and you'll be able to see what my assets are valued at. We're gonna take those two numbers and put them together. One's gonna be subtracted by the other, and we're gonna put it over here into the net worth by month, the blue column, which will be my total net worth. As you can see down here, we have been tracking since April of 2021, and you can just see how the numbers have been increasing. It looks like they're decreasing, but it's because they're negative. So as they go closer to zero, that means they're increasing. That's a good sign. That's what we want. So let's go ahead and actually start putting in some of these numbers, shall we? Now, the only thing I've really changed, as you can see, looks a little weird here. It's because this box was getting way too long and I had to condense it so that it can fit on the screen, and it would just be way easier to show you guys what's going on rather than having this thing sprawled out all the way down over here. I like to start with the bad news, which is the debt, the bad stuff, the stuff that takes away money that I earn, and that stuff we're gonna put down here into the red column. So the first thing we need to input over here is my Sallie Mae total student debt. I have two different student loan accounts, one being with Sallie Mae and the other being a government loan. And we are first going to put in the Sallie Mae loan amount, which at the time of filming this video, after my latest debt payment went through, we are currently sitting at $13,815.82. So boom, we put it in there. Just right off the bat, so you guys can tell and see kind of the drastic update we're gonna have here in this video. The last time I posted one of these videos, I was just under $19,000. That was in September for my Sallie Mae, and now we are just under $14,000. So we're making some pretty significant progress. We're gonna see some pretty big change in the video, so stay tuned. It's gonna be kind of exciting. The next thing we need to put in is something that's not gonna have any change, and that's the government loans. I'm not even gonna bother explaining. You guys know what's going on with that. I'm sure you do. If you don't, leave a comment and I'll explain, but that has not changed since a while. Moving down to car loan, and here's something I need your guys' opinion on. While back, I think it was in July or August, one of those months, I actually completely eliminated my car loan. I paid it off in full, boom, it's done. So part of me wants to remove this from the chart just for the sake of cleanliness, but then again, it serves as like a milestone, like a gravestone, literally, for a debt that is now dead. I kind of want to leave it in there, but tell me what you guys think down in the comment section below of should I remove it just to make things look tidy, or should I keep it in there just to remind myself and you guys that I've made some serious progress. Tell me what you think down in the comment section. And then lastly, for my liabilities, actually, I think this is currently the largest liability I have. My student loans have now dropped below this, so this is now my highest liability, which is my mortgage loan for the house that I am living in now. And we are currently sitting at a mortgage loan of $134,316.37. So there it is. That's something that isn't going to be changing drastically over the course of a few months. Unfortunately, if you know how mortgage loans work, even though each month I'm putting $1,059 towards my mortgage loan, a very small percentage of that actually goes towards paying off the principal. The other half goes towards escrow and the interest on the loan, which even though it's low, I got it at a very low interest rate, that still eats up a large chunk of the interest, at least in these beginning years of paying off this 30-year mortgage. My plan for this is to, once I get out of my student loan debt, which is a higher interest debt than my mortgage debt, once I get out of my student loan debt, I then want to start going quite aggressively on my mortgage loan. I know some people have a different opinion on that, and maybe once I put on those shoes or put on that hat, when I get to that point in my life, maybe I'll have a different opinion on it. But right now, that's kind of the long-term goal, is to, once my student loans are eliminated, start tackling my mortgage loan more aggressively. But we'll see. I know there's pros and cons to just leaving your loan alone and making the minimum payments on a mortgage loan, but we'll see. And after we are done inputting all those things, we can see that we now have a total debt amount, which is down here just under $220,000, specifically $219,539.34. And as I mentioned, we were gonna see, that's quite a big drop from the September video where we were at 225,000 and now we're below 220,000. Once again, the reason is because I haven't posted in a while, but it shows you guys that I have been doing my homework, that I've been putting in the hours, that I've been, doing what I should be doing, even when the camera's not rolling, to get rid of my debt. Because I hate debt, it stinks. So I want to get rid of this stuff as quickly as possible. Now let's turn our attention to what I like to call the good news. And we're going to look up here at the green column. The green column is my assets, things that make me money or hold value of some kind, some monetary value. And so let's go ahead and start plugging in the numbers for the asset column. And I'm excited because we have some pretty big changes coming your way, especially in the 401k column, as to be expected, because this is just something that comes out of my paycheck regularly, automatically, which makes it very nice. It's kind of out of sight, out of mind. So this thing is growing without even me really thinking about it. So my T. Rowe Price 401k account for retirement is now sitting at $3,653.60. And when I logged in today, I guess it's been a good day for all the places that my retirement funds are going to, all the index funds and stuff like that. Said today that it's up $43. So woohoo! That's why I encourage you guys, if you don't have a retirement account now, if it's something that actually makes sense for you to do it, because you really won't regret it. This money is just building for retirement without me really thinking about it. My company matches it. to a certain degree, and I don't have to worry about that. Next up is my house, the category for my house. And right now, I don't believe there's been any changes in the market for where my house is. I've never done and had my house actually professionally assessed. I guess I could, but it's just not something I really want to spend money on right now. It's not really a concern for me. The only reason I actually do it is for the sake of these videos and trying to have somewhat of an accurate number for how much my house is worth. Moving on next to the line item for my vehicle, my car. I did lower the amount of value in my vehicle just because it's been quite a while since I have lowered it. And I live in upstate New York, and around here, if you're familiar with this area, it's an area that's quite rough on vehicles. If I was down south, I'm sure my vehicle would hold value and its integrity for longer. I gotta find some wood. I guess this desk is made of wood. There's been nothing really go wrong with it other than I've had a flat tire or two. But I still do think that all vehicles lose value unless there's some form of classic car. So I've lowered it by about $500. That's kind of an estimate. Moving on there to my savings and cash. This is basically just liquid cash that if I need to, I have on hand. And this right now, at the time of filming, I checked, we are now sitting at $9,386, and I forgot to add the cents. But anyway, there it is, $9,386 for my cash. Moving on from my savings and cash to investments. And these two line items right here, TD Roth IRA and TD Taxable, I do my investment portfolios. I do it through TD Ameritrade. It's just kind of the brokerage account. I'm not sponsored or anything by them. I mean, I'm not even big enough to get a sponsor, but I'm not sponsored by them. It's basically just the one that when someone taught me how to use a brokerage account, they use that. So I went with TD Ameritrade. They're pretty comprehensive, I think, but doesn't really matter for the sake of this video. So my TD Roth IRA, that is another form of retirement account, except in a Roth IRA, the money that I'm placing into it has already been taxed. So what is in the Roth IRA can grow tax-free, and if I take it out at a certain time, I believe it's after the age of 59, it's either 59 or at 65, I can't remember, or 64. One of those numbers, you guys can leave it in the comment section, get some audience interaction in here. But if I take it out after that time, there's no penalty to it, and I can take it out tax-free. But right now, my TD Roth IRA account is sitting at $1,154 and no cents, I guess, because I didn't write it down. And then lastly, we have my TD Ameritrade Taxable Brokerage account. This is just a regular brokerage account that I used in the past to buy some stocks. And let me just be honest with you guys, I'm not gonna go into my holdings right now, but they're hurting, and they're hurting bad. I don't know if this is just a regular, I'm assuming this is a regular feeling to have when you've purchased stocks and shares from companies. I mean, some of the companies I have are just, it's not good. Thankfully, I haven't put a significant sum of money into the stock market, at least on my taxable brokerage account side. But right now we are sitting at, let's see, where did I write it? $2,255.86. Actually not too far off from September, thankfully. Now that we have figured out both my asset column and my liability column, we can go ahead and punch it into the blue box over here, the blue spreadsheet side. And as you can see, for the asset column, we're going to be at $196,949.46. And that wasn't too crazy of an increase from September to December. My liability column is more quickly decreasing. The reason is a lot of my focus is going towards getting rid of debt instead of building up assets, which I know in terms of net worth and wanting to become a millionaire and all that stuff, asset growth is very important. But right now I have to remove liabilities so that I can more fully gain assets at a quicker rate. So let's go ahead and plug into December over here on the net worth by month. Let's go ahead and plug in the value. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on this box. We're going to do a sum of the total value of my assets, this 196,000. Click that in there, minus the liability total, which is this box right down here, the 219,000. And we are going to push enter. And then it wants to have me autofill stuff. We're not going to do that. But let's take a look at this, because big change from the last time I updated this. As you guys can see, we are now at negative $22,589.88. And some of you may be saying, like, how is that a good thing? That's a negative number. But if you look, we are trending towards the positive direction. And we made quite significant progress since the last update, where we were at negative 30,000. And just because this is the last net worth update for 2021, I want to go back and look at where I was at when I first started actually tracking my net worth. I didn't start at the beginning of the year, I actually started in April. But if we take a look down here at the little column, the little graph box I have here with the stars, you can see that the first time I ever evaluated my net worth, I was at negative 51,000. At that time, I obviously had more student loan debt, more mortgage debt, and I was even in the hole for a car loan. And so since then, I have been able to eliminate my car loan, reduce a little bit my mortgage debt, and significantly decrease my student loans. And so now, we are at this new number, this negative $22,000 number, this benchmark. So what I'm going to kind of do just to conclude this video is I'm going to take the number that I was at back in April of 2021 and subtract that from where we're at today, just to see where the difference is and how much progress we've made. So let's just click down here. We'll do sum of this number, and we're going to subtract from that today's number to see how much progress I made, what's the difference been, and you can see that is a change of $28,000, $28,566.54. Don't mind the negative there, that's just because we're dealing with some negative numbers. But we have made a positive net worth improvement of over $28,000 to my net worth this year, which I'm quite proud of. I've never really done something like this before where I've tracked my net worth, and so it's hard for me to say, like, is that good? But I think for me it's good because I know that I've really been targeting my student loan debt. I know that I got rid of my car debt, and so I'd say that's a pretty good year. But I thank you guys for just sticking with me throughout this last year and to watch my progress and to encourage me throughout this whole period, because this is new for me, but I'm excited to see what the future and for what 2022 is going to bring, where I can do a full year in review for my net worth. And at this rate, I'm almost positive that we are going to be in the positive net worth, no pun intended, by the end of next year, probably even sooner. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.